Hi, welcome to the Living Room Revival. Today I wanted to share with you a vision that I had on March 23rd of this year. And it was a very interesting vision. I thought maybe you would enjoy it. At 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings at our church, we have prayer. And we're praying for revival. We're praying for the move of God, like in the days of Acts. Certainly we want to see that move. I believe it's still available for us today. I think God wants to move that way. And we've been praying for a spiritual awakening or revival, whatever you want to call it. But on March 23rd, I was laying prone, face down during prayer. There was three other people in the church, just four of us, and I was on the ground with my face down praying, and I had three visions. The first vision was like this. I was laying on my face as if just like I was when I was praying. But angels came and covered me with this big blanket. And I said to the Lord, I said, what's that? What just happened here? And keep in mind, a vision for me lasts a second or two. It was very quick, kind of like a flash. And it was just like, boom. And I said, Lord, what is that? And he said, that's my righteousness. You are literally covered in my righteousness. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And a few minutes later, I was still praying and I had another vision. This time, I was still laying face down, but in my vision, I was bent over on my knees with my head down, kind of like hunched over and kneeling in prayer. And in my vision, I saw myself, and an angel came and inserted in my ear a kind of like a hearing aid, maybe the size of a can of corn. And I said, Lord, what's that? And he said to me, literally, you're going to hear my voice. You're going to hear me a lot clearer. You're going to hear things you've never heard before. And I thought that was cool. And I thought, well, I know I'm going to get another vision. I believe God works in threes a lot of times. And I thought this vision is going to be me speaking. I'm a preacher. I'm going to speak what I hear. But no, it wasn't that at all. In my vision, I was laying flat on my face again, looking up. I saw myself just a foot, maybe from my knees down, walking across the width of a bleacher, like a high school bleacher that you would sit on. And I had white shoes on, which I believe talks about the purification. But I was walking, and I said, Lord, what am I seeing? And he said, you are literally going to be called to walk a narrow walk, very narrow. From what you heard, you're going to be walking this narrow walk. And if you think about a high school bleacher, there's not enough room to go around or do anything but go straight. If someone's in the way, you either step off or they step off. So that was my vision. And later on after we were done praying, I was heading home, but I decided to stop at a business. I needed to speak with an owner of a business for a while. And that took about a half an hour. As I left the business, I was going up a hill, going towards my house, leaving West Newton. And this is not a vision. This literally happened. There were fish, trout, good shot, the kind you would catch, literally on the middle of the road, jumping around and flip-flopping around like you would see fish normally do. They were alive, very much alive, and very much jumping around. There was, I believe, 5 of them. I pulled over, and another man was getting out of his truck to get the fish up. And I asked him, I said, what do you want me to do? And he said, just block the traffic so I can scoop these up. He had a coal shovel, and he picked up 3 of them and put them on the side of the road. And 2 of them, I believe, got run over, but 3 were put on the side of the road. And he asked me if I wanted them, and I said, well, I don't have anything to put them in. I said, are these yours? I thought they were his. And he said, no, they're not mine. And we're like, well, where'd they come from? Well, the best we could figure is that maybe stock the lake or river truck. We have a Yaak River running right through West Newton. And it was right around opening fishing, a week, I think, before opening season. And maybe they were just stocking the Yaak, getting it ready for opening season. But the bottom line is these fish were in the middle of the road jumping around. And obviously, that's not something you see every day. I'll be willing to say that none of you's ever seen fish jumping around on the middle of the road. But as I got home, I started to ponder, Lord, what are you showing me here? And I believe he spoke to me because I had the visions, and this was within an hour after the visions. After all that, he's showing me that I'm going to catch fish, people. We're fishers of men in an unusual way. Normally, I passed the river getting to my house, and I saw some men fishing, but that's the normal way. Either you cast a net or you cast a hook. But God showed me I'm going to do it differently. And it's so exciting to me because he's going to cover me, and I am covered. You're covered in his righteousness. We should have ears to hear. And when he sends us on our way, it's going to be a narrow walk, a narrow path. Few are going to find it. But then I saw those fish. And he showed me that when the gentleman that stopped to help with me, he said, do you want them? I said, I don't have nothing to put them in. And God showed me that when you catch the fish, you got to be prepared for the harvest, for the end time harvest. So again, this is a very unique day for me. This doesn't happen all the time, but it was exciting. The visions were real. The fish jumping on the middle of the road, not on the side of the road, literally in the middle of the road. That's real. That really happened. So I'm excited to see what God's going to do. I believe he wants to do it for all of us. This just wasn't for me. I want to share it with you because I believe God wants to do something like this for all of us. We just got to know we're covered in his righteousness. We have ears to hear. And now we're called to walk a very narrow path that you and I are called to walk. And on that path, we're going to see miracles and amazing things like fish literally jumping in the middle of the road. I pray that this video, my visions and what experience I had with the fish really touched you, blessed you, and maybe open up your eyes to something. I also pray that there's a revival that breaks out in your living room and in your living room. May God bless you.